Welcome, everybody, here on Pemmy Baker TV as we get set for this NHIAA Division II field hockey preliminary round matchup as the Bobcats of Plymouth Regional High School, the 7th seed, take on the 10th seed in Derryfield. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Salzer alongside Royce Preventure as we get set for the insert in the start of this matchup in Royce. Plymouth with a lot of momentum coming down the stretch, and they've had a really successful season.
Yeah, Dan, certainly. I mean, 7th seed, congratulations, and getting a huge win to really kind of cap off, their season. It was a 2-1 win against Hanover. Get that momentum, and just having a very strong record coming in at 10-6 will be a huge factor here, just kind of looking in for Derryfield.
Looking at it, Plymouth has been really strong here at home this season, and you think that's going to factor into this matchup here.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the Bobcats having a 6-3 home record this season, and one of those wins was coming when both these teams did match up on October 6th, and that's when it was a 4-2 win. So Derryfield, looking at them on the road, they are a 2-6 record away, so that could be pivotal here with Bobcats home soil.
Derryfield, always kind of a perennial powerhouse, a little bit of a down year for them in specs, and they've struggled on the road.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, with 45 goals against them so far and a .438 win percentage, it's a struggle for them on the road and missing the playoffs the last season, but they were still able to come around, kind of join together, and able to at least squeak in at that 10th seed.
Take a look at the playoff bracket for this 2025 postseason tournament. Already one quarterfinal matchup set, but walk us through it, Royce.
Yeah, certainly. So you're going to be having 8 Kingswood Knights, and they're going to be hosting the 9 Merrimack Valley Pride. And the winner of that will be playing the number 1 Souhegan Sabres. And then the winner of this will be playing number 2 Bow. Now for our first quarterfinal that's set, it is for Oyster River, and they will be hosting the Cavaliers from Hollis Brookline. The 6 Hanover Bears will be hosting the 11 Kennet Eagles, and the winner will play 3 John Stark Generals.
As we're underway in the center pass to get us going in this preliminary round matchup, Bobcats in their home blue uniforms, or navy blue, going really from the bottom of your screen to your top of your screen. Derryfield in their road white uniforms and maroon bottoms. Early action, Doucette draws the call. And really, we look at things, Royce, and what would you say are the keys to victory for both teams?
Yeah, certainly. Looking at, things to watch is, like, in the first 5 minutes, who's going to control that tempo early on? Another key is, can Plymouth convert on their corners today? And who will control that midfield? That midfield control is crucial for both these sides.
Dangerous there on the play, so stays with Derryfield. And you talked about the midfield a second ago. Plymouth's midfield has been their bread and butter this season. It's where a lot of their goals have come from their midfielders, and it's the offense that's really struggled this season.
Yeah, that's their goal, is in the midfield. They're trying to set up some offensive plays. They're trying to develop maybe some plays to the sidelines as well. But when you look at their offensive, just their productivity from in the circle has not been to where it has been.
Bobcats on the attack after the turnover at midfield. Avery couldn't get it through traffic. And here comes Derryfield. On the near side. Trying to work through is the likes of Fulton. Fulton near the end line. Gets it inside the circle. Advantage called, and we're going to have our first corner of the game.
Well, with the Bobcats' defense being sound all around, really good preventing on the corners. But for Derryfield, this is huge. You get to apply that pressure early on, and now you get to test Carmen Donis in the cage.
So first corner attempt here on the left side. Milo will insert. Moved around the circle nicely. Pressure coming out from Fullerton. And a whistle in favor of the Bobcats. Great defense on the special teams.
Yeah, Bobcats, nice job there. Just alleviating that pressure from Derryfield. And for the Bobcats, just staying aggressive on defense.
Derryfield, the team that's been in the state championship game 9 times in their history, have won, I believe, 3 of them.
And now for the Bobcats, their last appearance in the playoffs was, well, in 2004, not in 2004, but last season. Now talking about championships, their last championship appearance was in 2004, and their 2-1 loss against Souhegan back when they were Class I.
11:44 and counting to go here in the first quarter. As this one is against Plymouth inside the circle. So from our vantage point here at the Cat Shack, we do not have a clock camera. We'll read it out for you a bunch. On that right side. Derryfield. Work it out of pressure. Great defensive stop in the midfield by the Bobcats. And a whistle. That one's going to go against Amy Watto. Still against the Bobcats. Big hit. That's going to be called dangerous. And back to the Bobcats it goes.
Yeah, now looking at the Bobcats' offensive side, Amelia Avery and Trista Strickland with 8 goals on the season, and Alexi Joyce with 7. So they will be huge X factors to watch in the offensive half.
Played into space. Mitchell along the left side. We'll push it towards the midline. Watto is stopped before the whistle. So a good back and forth start to this one. Just over 10 minutes to go, first quarter. Push down deep. Sakin trying to clear pressure. Cougars trying to work it in. That's off a leg. Advantage called. And now the whistle. Quick self-start. Oh, and we're going to have a corner. I thought that was outside. Whoa, so another corner coming for Derryfield.
Well, Derryfield 0 for 1 on corners, but they were able to get a lot of pressure. Tried to set up something before the aggressive defense of Plymouth.
Mark up.
So they'll insert here on the left side of your screen.
Same spot as previously.
Hello. Goes up high. Bouncer on the insert. Backhand Fulton trying to get it deep into the circle. Still has control. Oh, whistle. Correction, that's not Fulton. Kosakowski with that play. Bad turnover deep in the Bobcat end. Great defensive step up from Fullerton. And advantage and a whistle goes back to the Cougars.
Yeah, a lot of nice pressure here from Derryfield early, but also in the Bobcats too. Defensively, they're making huge stops to prevent any main shots on target. It's going to be fun to see what happens next.
Officials are going to move Derryfield inside the halo, just outside the shooting circle. Sikowski will go back with it again. If you're new to the sport, if you're inside that hash, that halo, you've got to move 5 yards away before you can attack the circle on a restart. Kozakowski trying to find help. And it will go to the Cougars again, just outside the circle. Bobcats defense holding strong, not getting shots in. This one's off a leg. And it'll be another corner. Third one here of the first for Derryfield.
Yeah, they went down low, then up high. And again, still applying that pressure, but the Bobcats defense was able to stabilize and not let that pressure affect them.
Hello. Going to go high. Nice settle this time. Great pressure coming out from Sakin. Open opportunity down on the doorstep. And an absolute stop by Hussey on the doorstep, right on the goal line.
Yeah, certainly. Really nice pressure right there by Derryfield. Just the execution. They wanted to go high again after their failed high attempt previously, able to set it up. But just a beautiful touch by Hussey.
Donis was kind of out of position on that attempt. That led to a long corner. And now back to the Bobcats to try to get some momentum back on their side. Great crowd here. A lot of the football team as they get ready for their walkthrough for tomorrow night's game at Merrimack Valley. A few other sports teams, but great show of support here for the playoffs. 7 minutes to go, opening quarter. We're still scoreless as that rolls into the Bobcat bench.
For the Bobcats, it's also about controlling the tempo offensively. They want to dictate the pace, make Derryfield chase them.
At the 25-yard line. Backhanded down low, top of the circle, and going to be intercepted there by Mitchell. Sanborn can't control it. Derryfield bringing some pressure. Again, as you mentioned at the top of our show, Royce, this is a Cougars team that came in early this month, fell to Plymouth 4-2 on this field, and they're looking comfortable right now.
Yeah, they're just setting up early. They're not letting the crowd get into them. The nerves are right where they should be, and they're just applying that pressure. They want to be the ones to make the Bobcats chase them.
So get ready for another corner. Good pressure, one-time effort, backdoor feed out of the reach of everybody, and it will roll over the end line.
I really like what was trying to be done there, trying to find it, back post, just a little off target.
Chip shot is bounced around. Latin Woe with the settle. Advantage called. Inside the circle are the Cougars. Off a foot, and another corner coming, the fifth one.
Well, for the Bobcats, the question is how can they stop these corners from happening? How can they give their defense a break, and how can they get their offense more involved here?
5:10 remaining opening quarter, still scoreless here in this first round matchup. Latin Woe tries to go to the top of the circle. Bobcats intercept. Avery on the left side, a self pass behind her defender. Into the middle. Strickland can't control it. And a whistle called against the Bobcats.
I just found it funny how in transition I just saw a mask just go flying, didn't make it quite out of bounds. And one of the Plymouth players had to stop and pick it up and throw it out of play before continuing.
Inside the circle. First real opportunity for Plymouth here today. And they're going to get their first corner of the matchup.
Yeah, well, for the Bobcats, that's one of their weaknesses is their corners and getting their corner inserts. And that's one of the things when I got to sit down and talk with senior captain Amelia Avery, she stated that they want to work on their corners and they want to be more aggressive.
Avery ready to insert. Goes out top. Dancing around Mitchell. Backhander chop towards goal. Avery scores! She'll tip it in on the doorstep, and the Bobcats have a 1-0 lead.
And you said Amelia Avery, correct?
Yes.
And she will get her 9th goal on the season. What a job by Amelia Avery. And as I said, it works. Was able on the corner to set up, make a really nice play. That pressure got there, and just Amelia Avery, just a nice job finishing. One of the things she said that they needed to work on, and, well, it's showing. Their corner really worked out. So there's congratulations for her 9th goal.
Back underway on the restart. 3.5 to go here in the opening quarter. Hesser down the left side. Sanborn trying to stretch the field. Into the shooting circle it goes. And pushed away from the Cougars. This will be a whistle on the Bobcats. Another quick whistle here. So, Royce, how do you feel about the play so far here in the first quarter?
I feel like it's been very aggressive. Derryfield has had most of the pressure early on, 5 corners. But when the Bobcats, they finally got down there and applied their own pressure, it worked out and it worked with a goal. I think the question for the Bobcats is, since they're such a strong defensive team, will the pressure finally pay off for Derryfield?
You saw that one go into the cage, but the shot came from outside of the circle, so great awareness from Derryfield to just let it go, and they'll have possession. Advantage called here for Plymouth, though, in the restart. And now it's against Plymouth on the foul call. 1-0 Bobcats. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the first. Right side, Ahern. Looking for Avery. She's stopped on that attack. As it will roll over the touchline. Sikowski gets past another defender. Works over midfield. Sikowski shielding, avoids the whistle. Pushed towards the circle. Dribbled in. Chance towards goal. And Adonis with this kick save, but a corner coming.
Well, another corner for Derryfield. Have not had much to show for it except the pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if they go really aggressive here, considering they're down 1 goal early on.
1 minute to go in the quarter. Plenty of time to get it off. Even if the horn sounds, you're still able to play out the corner. Milo will love this left side insert. Goes to the top. It's a slow one. Has to go out before it comes back in the circle. And mishandled on the perimeter. Sydney Fullerton doing well defensively.
Yeah, another nice defensive stop. That's been really where they excel, as along with their midfield presence. And with time dwindling down, Bobcats could just run up this clock to end the quarter.
Miss hit off the toe of Hussey's stick. Final 16 seconds. Chanson, Stonecker with some effort on her left side, our right. Edge of the circle. Donis with a kick save of a beauty. As the horn sounds to end the first quarter of play. As the Bobcats hold a 1-0 lead as they weathered the storm, Royce, with relentless pressure, especially with the corners, 6 of them by Derryfield in the first 15 minutes.
Yes, 6 corners is absolutely insane. So much pressure by Derryfield, and they were able to get some opportunities, but just the Bobcats, when they marched down the field, got their corner, they were able to set up for a nice offensive attack. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a lot more corners from Derryfield and a lot more pressure.
So we'll keep it right here for you. End of the first quarter, Bobcats leading 1-0. Again, we'll have live coverage of football tomorrow night down from Merrimack Valley. Kickoff 6:30 right here on Pemmy Baker TV. So if you look at things, Royce, what can Derryfield do differently here going into the second that we didn't see in the first 15 minutes?
Maybe a different designed play on the corners. They were usually going really up high or down low, and they didn't have much, and it was a very slow, or also the errors at the top of the circle got away from them. I wouldn't say the crowd has necessarily rattled them. I think they just need to take a little bit more of a slower approach and feel out the Bobcats' defense, make them work, make them spread around.
So we get ready for the second.
For the Bobcats, I would also say keeping up their confidence. Overall, they have a lead now. Can't get too in their heads. They need to keep it grounded and just keep playing how they've been playing. Keep up their aggression defensively, keep up their midfield. And also for them as well, slow it down. There's no need to go over approach on the offensive side and give a counterattack to Derryfield. Just take your time with it, control it. Go back to the fundamentals.
Let's get back underway to start the second quarter. Center pass for Derryfield. Be Bobcats in the second half. Pushed into the attacking zone. Strickland towards the back post. Avery backhanded shot. Can't control it cleanly as it rolls over the end line.
Well, Amelia Avery, she scored her 9th goal of the season in the first quarter and tried to extend it there to 10. She's such a well-rounded player, so aggressive on the offensive side.
Avery, call for the foul there, rushing in.
Hence the aggression.
Yeah, rightfully so. That's what the Bobcats need, though. Back out the other way. Stonecker. Good tackle in the middle. As that one's off the stick there of Delora Hussey. Poor attempt on the lift on the restart. Hussey along the sideline. And that's going to be off of a foot of the Cougars. Push deep. As the Bobcats can't keep it in play. 13:20 to go, second quarter. Bobcats leading 1-0 here at home in this first round matchup. Price tried to juggle through a couple of defenders. A whistle. Fulton overran the ball. See a Sakin. Great launch on the restart. Sent deep to Strickland. Avery slips up. And it'll be a free hit coming out.
You know, also for the Bobcats, and I was talking to Amelia Avery, she said keeping the ball to the sidelines will also be crucial here in their playoff match.
Impeding there on Derryfield, so the Bobcats will have possession. That might have gone as dangerous, and it does, because Kozakowski's head was close to that ball on the restart.
Really like the idea, though, from Plymouth, trying to get a nice insert, trying to find a nice pass, but just too close for comfort.
Bobcats' first one home in the loose ball, Duchette. Draws the whistle. Let's get back underway. That one's off the stick of the Bobcats of Joyce. Just under 11.5 to go here in the first half. Hussey finds Alexa Joyce. Joyce trying to get past her defender, gets the advantage and the whistle. Looking for McKenney, can't connect. The Bobcats will get it back. Doucette, quick restart. McKenney gets the whistle right on the edge of the shooting circle. Bobcats wasting no time. Oh, and impeding on that 5-yard. So Bobcats will get a corner out of this. Their second of the afternoon.
Well, on their first corner, they're 1 for 1. They were, well, I mean, they scored from it. That's how they got the goal. All started from that corner. And as I kept mentioning, really, developing the play from the corner, getting a nice insert and applying that pressure. Curious to see what they'll do here because it's on the opposite side now.
Avery will still insert. Going to the point. Got to get out of the circle first. Not a quite long enough hit. Mitchell gets it back in down low. And another. Oh, that's going to be coming out here. Oh, it is going to be another corner. My apologies. Second one in a row. That's off a foot of a Cougar.
Well, now it's the Bobcats' turn to go on a little run here from corners.
Lexi Maiorino in goal for Derryfield here today. Sakin shielding off a foot. Bobcats with possession. Under 10 to go, second quarter. Down towards the corner. Derryfield with some good defense. Lifted towards a circle. One-time an effort there by McKinney. Marino with a stop off the pads. And over the end line. And it's going to be off the Bobcats. So Cougars with possession.
Well, really nice possession there, really nice aggressiveness. Just being able to apply that pressure now and make that Derryfield defense work.
Joyce, long hit, goes through everybody and out of play. And a lot of action heading down to the home stretch of most seasons. Royce, take a look around Bobcat country.
Yeah, I mean, today Plymouth is playing Oyster River Girl Varsity Soccer, 4 p.m., and then Bobcats are traveling down to John Stark to play the Generals for volleyball with a 6 p.m. first serve.
Another restart as that went over the end line. Stolen away by the Bobcats. Inside the circle quickly is Strickland. And a long corner from the 25-yard line coming up for the Bobcats. Sia Sakin will restart us here with a self-start. Gets past one. Can't get past the second. And Latinwo, dangerous here. McKinney, backhand effort and a dangerous follow-through.
Now Derryfield can alleviate some of that pressure and try and get their offense going.
When you look at it, it feels right now, Royce, that it was all momentum for Derryfield in the first. Now Plymouth with a lot of momentum here in the second.
Yeah, I mean, with that goal being scored, being able to get that corner, and just because you have a lot of corners doesn't mean you have a lot of pressure. But Bobcats doing so well in the offensive side, and now their midfield has been really strong and defensively as well, preventing a lot of opportunities from this Derryfield squad.
7 minutes to go, second quarter. Bobcats still with a 1-0 lead thanks to Amelia Avery. Stays with Derryfield. Lanwo. Pushed into empty space, no one home. Watto the first one there for the Bobcats, but it's stolen away. Advantage, whistle, advantage, and a corner. First one here this quarter, 7th of the game for Derryfield.
Corners applied a lot of that pressure, got some shots on the cage. And a majority of them did come from this left-hand side, which is, well, where it's going again.
Expect Fulton to be the target on the insert. Black sleeves at the top of the circle. Low. Will go to Fulton. Good on the insert. Tries to push it into space. Not able to handle it is Blake. And the Bobcats come away with possession.
I got to say, nice prediction there. But yeah, just another nice defensive stop from the Bobcats. Really well done.
High pressure from Stonecker, but goes against her. Hussey kind of turfs it there on the restart. Derryfield moving the ball a lot better here in the last few minutes. Advantage. That goes away. Dribbling in. Donis comes out. Opportunity. Donis can't cover it up. You're not allowed to. Makes the save. And that one slapped away by Hussey again on the goal line.
I mean, talk about defense. And that shows why the Bobcats' defense has been able to hold up on their own and considering one of the strongest parts of this Bobcat team.
Delora Hussey, the junior, coming up big twice here in the first half defensively. On the goal line to keep Derryfield off the board. Under 5 to go now in the second quarter.
Also, in transition right there, really good from the Bobcats, being able to set up offensively.
Sakin trying to find a target here on the right wing side for the Cougars. And a foul called against Plymouth. Slapped inside the shooting circle. Sakin coming away with possession, trying to outlet to McKinney. As she can't get there. Knocked down low. Fulton. That's pushed into pressure, and a corner coming for Derryfield.
Well, to mention, the Bobcats' defense has been so aggressive so far all season, but also in this game we've seen throughout the first quarter and so far up to here. Would not be surprised if we get a lot more aggression from the defense on this corner as well.
So far, the Bobcats' defense has bent but not broken. Under 4 now in the second quarter. Turnaround effort. And another corner.
Well, in terms of corner productivity, they're still applying pressure. The Bobcats' defense is standing very, very strong, not allowing much from it.
Going short this time again. Lanwell will swing it to the far side. Great stick work from Sydney Fullerton. Joyce in front of her own bench just keeps it in play. Into space for Strickland. Advantage call and now the whistle.
Well, Sydney Fullerton is one of the 2 captains on this team, and no surprise, she's one of their strongest players defensively, always comes up huge.
And a little bit too far ahead on the start. So Ahern will get us back underway. Nearly dangerous. That came off a stick. Well, I'm going to say it didn't, so it's going to go to Derryfield here with 2:44 remaining in the second quarter. Ahern. Well, not going to be an insert. It's going to be a restart. Stopped deep, but sent out. Kozakowski with the effort. Derryfield wanting one more attack if they can. Stuck down in their own end of the field. That's a dangerous swing on Joyce. Here come the Cougars. Great stop by McKinney. Played into space. Another whistle. Closing moments here. 1:38 remaining in the second. Bobcats, chance for another attack. Strickland towards the circle. McKinney in a foot race. Gets past 1. Gets past 2. And no one home for Plymouth. Battle along the sideline as it just rolls out of play. Ahern with 1:10. Get us back underway. That's into the body. And a dangerous restart. So Cougars with possession.
Here comes up the nice sun.
Yeah, I'll take it.
After a little bit of rain earlier on.
Got a little rain pregame before we went on air. Sakin, great tackle. Up to Strickland with advantage. Past another one. Into the circle. Still had it. It rolls over the end line. And a long corner here for Plymouth.
Well, speaking of Trista Strickland, she was tied with Amelia Avery coming into this game, but she has 8 goals on the season, so she's also looking to expand that number to, well, a higher place, I guess.
Yeah, we'll go with that. 23 seconds to go here in the quarter. So a chance for one more push for Derryfield if they hurry, but running out of time with 10 seconds. Final 5 seconds. Derryfield just going to kill the clock here as we wait for the horn, and there it is as we head to halftime here at Plymouth Regional High School. And it's been a great one so far, Royce. What are your biggest takeaways?
You know, my biggest takeaways on the Derryfield side is getting those corners and the offensive pressure. For the Bobcats, their defense has stood huge like a massive stone wall. You even saw there, Muzzy came over with a huge stop, clearing it out. And just the midfield control by the Bobcats. Now for Derryfield, they're trying to go quick on these restarts. They're going as quick as they can, trying to get them back in. So would not be surprised to see the same exact thing happen in the second half as well. Both these teams playing aggressive and going fast tempo.
Well, with that, we'll be back on the other side of this transition for the second half action. But here at the break, it's Plymouth Regional 1, Derryfield 0. You're watching Bobcat Field Hockey here on Pemmy Baker TV. Back here at Plymouth Regional High School, Dan Salzer alongside Royce Preventure, bringing you the action of this NHIAA Division II field hockey first round matchup in the 7-10 game as the Bobcats are playing Derryfield. And Royce, a very strong, both teams pretty much owned a quarter, but it's the Bobcats leading 1-0 at the break.
Yeah. To begin the game, it was Derryfield just controlling the pace, controlling the tempo. 6 corners alone in the first quarter. And the Bobcats, they marched down when they got their first corner, led to an opportunity for Amelia Avery to get her 9th goal of the season.
Landy, defensive stop, draws the call. This is a Plymouth team that cannot let up the pressure. They have to come out aggressive and stay aggressive here in the second half.
Yeah, certainly. When you apply that aggression, you're going to make Derryfield spread out. You're going to make them work, and we'll throw off the whole entire rhythm.
Lanewell on the restart. That's past Joyce and out of play.
You'll also notice the sun's out now in the second half,
yeah,
contrary to some overcast to open up the game.
That's into the eyes of the defense for Plymouth.
But the Bobcats' defense has been extremely strong. So for Derryfield, it's going to be a huge situation.
That one's called against Avery, who's moved more to the defensive midfield type of role. And a long corner coming in. Cougars trying to find something in against Donis. Shielding nicely, not deep enough hit, but you're going to say that came off a leg. It's going to stay with Derryfield. And that one against the Cougars. There's a lot of back and forth here out of halftime, Royce.
For Derryfield, they definitely have to swap something up. Curious what their coach was saying in their little halftime huddle, but they're going to need to resort to something else, especially on their corners, as their corners, it was just a repeating cycle of one another either going to the top or going close side.
Dangerous follow through there on Joyce, so Derryfield with the restart. Tip down low and a kick save, Donis.
Donis was tested a lot in the first half, and she comes up with another huge save.
Been on her game here today, the junior goalkeeper. Kozakowski. That's off of Avery. Avery's called for the foul off the body. Cougars inside. That hits a foot, but it's going to be off of Derryfield. And the Bobcats will have the restart going out.
Well, prime example there for Derryfield, keeping up the tempo.
Turned right back over. Donis kicks it away and nicely to the weak side away from pressure. Bobcats trying to get vertical. Doucette still has possession. So glad you could join us here on Pemmy Baker TV. Hard hit at midfield. Avery trying to come back and help in the midfield. She now swings back out top, down the sideline, into space. And good defensive stop. Cataldo. Here with 11:08 to go, third quarter. Bobcats leading 1-0 here in this NHIAA first-round matchup for Division II. Top of the circle. Chance in. Looking for the back door of Sanborn on the post and couldn't connect. Off a foot, tipped up, and dangerous is the call, so it's going to go back to Derryfield.
I also will say at halftime, since both these teams have had one half to work with one another, that they can feel out and adjust their plan accordingly. And I think it's just very methodical passes and just spreading out the Bobcats' defense if Derryfield want to get an opportunity to get a shot on target.
Competing there, called against Abigail Sanborn after she just got a nice stop on the restart a moment ago. Avery intercepting that pass. Strickland, chance on, advantage, and it's off the arm and going away.
Strickland was looking for her 9th goal of the season.
Yeah, just that contact on the arm there. Derryfield been stuck a lot of time here in their half. And a little foul off the foot.
Well, the Bobcats have been staying aggressive offensively too, so not alleviating any pressure if that's from, oh, yikes.
Yeah, LaFlame with a great clear just hooked it out to the left. She got a lot of that one, though. That would have been a fantastic restart.
But for the Bobcats, right, staying aggressive offensively, defensively, and in the midfield, that's where they extremely excel at.
Again, physicality picking up for both teams. LaFlame has her pass intercepted. Hard hit into the circle. It's knocked down by Taldo. Strickland goes for a tumble after the whistle. That's up off the body, but play continues. Derryfield been stuck down here for the last couple of minutes. 8.5 to go, third quarter. Bobcats have possession on the whistle. Edge of the circle, pushed in but not deep enough. Landy with full correction. Kozakowski there with the effort. That one's past Hussey, and it rolls over the sideline.
I also want to mention, pay attention to number 2 in blue. That's Amelia Avery. When she's off ball, she is still doing great things to set up the Bobcats, if that's getting open, if that's playing aggressive, playing who's on the ball. Just overall well-rounded player. She is the Swiss knife. She's the Army Swiss knife of the offense, I guess.
Again, an offense that we talked about in our pregame comes really through a very solid midfield here for Plymouth. Again, that's been their bread and butter. That's what they've worked off of all season long, and what's got them here today.
And that's also what they've been practicing heading into this game, was just a lot of the midfield control.
Joyce, dangerous.
Thought that one was going to go into the crowd again.
But a lot of that here in the second half. Landy. That one's knocked down nicely by Plymouth. Strickland, who got the stop initially. A couple of more slips out there in the slippery surface from the rain pregame.
It's a nice field, I'll say.
Oh, it's in fantastic condition. Rob Cormier with his crew and the Parks crew working through the drought, keeping all of the fields here at Plymouth Regional in great playing condition throughout the fall. Winner of this advances to take on Bow.
Still a beautiful afternoon, though. 53 degrees. Perfect temperature.
T-shirt here for me.
You're always in a T-shirt.
I'm always in a T-shirt. You're right.
Or a tank top.
No tank top. On the attack. Strickland overruns the ball. And she'll tie up the stick and draw the foul.
Well, very even so far throughout the first. Since the restart, excuse me. Could not do quick math, but but yeah, both teams very even, taking their turns, going down, back and forth. There's not really one team that's had too much pressure. It's been essentially even so far.
The number you're looking for was 9 minutes. We got 6 left here, just under now, in the third quarter. Hello, right side attack. Got past Watto. Still with possession. Battling against Mitchell, and Mitchell wins out. Casual swing. Stolen away. Latin Woe. Edge of the circle. Mitchell. Going to try to carry it out. That's off a leg. Oh, play continues. I thought that was off foot of Landy, number 22. But Derryfield still with possession. Again, we're here next to our camera behind the cage on the bottom of your screen out of shot. So it's hard for us to see the far side of the field. Just giving the excuses right now, Royce, for everybody at home.
Well, it's quite the vantage point. Got to visit it. It's a very nice view. Like the 22-man camera that they use in NFL and college.
Long corner here for Derryfield. 4:09 to go, third quarter. Bobcats still hanging on to a 1-0 lead thanks to Amelia Avery. And a whistle here outside the circle.
Well, to mention, both Bobcats games in their playoffs have been 1-0 wins. So right now it is 1-0. So hopefully there's not an announcer jinx, but
yeah, if there's a commentator's curse, they will find you. As a corner coming up here. First one of the second half for either team.
So if there's anyone to blame, that's me. But for the corner,
it's the 10th one of the game for Derryfield.
Not much productivity. I will say the pressure has been good for them getting shots for Carmen Donis in the cage. It's just been a very slow start after they get it out.
Play this Fulton. Yes, it is. Works to the left. Backhand shot high, though. Donis with a save. She'll lay down and try to block it. Pokes it away, but it's still in dangerous territory. Derryfield have to be careful not to be called for a foul. Trying to shield it too much from Plymouth as that one's poked out and away from pressure. Great defense, Plymouth, again, here on a penalty corner.
Well, very nice defense from the start, and then you're able just to get a really nice transition to a very aggressive midfield and very strong offensive attack. You just got to keep playing like that for the final quarter and so.
Hesser with that clearance attempt a moment ago for Plymouth. Lanwo can't find her target. Strickland has it stolen away. Cougars dribbling left side. That's Blake, number 14. Backhanded into the circle. And pushed away only momentarily, but a whistle against Derryfield.
Well, it lets the Bobcats catch their breath just for a couple seconds. Head's always got to be on a swivel here, especially with how Derryfield's coming along.
Under 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Possession stays with Plymouth. Advantage for Plymouth as we play on. Kenny gets the restart in front of the fans. As LaFlame with a good stop, but sees it roll out of bounds. Hard attack coming in. It's against Derryfield. Oh, it's against Collimore. Towards the end line. Out of the reach there of Ruby. Shot and a save. Mary Reno. Backdoor feed again as Plymouth tries to work the weak side. And Abigail Sanborn couldn't tuck it in.
Again, a really nice play there. I actually thought it was going to go in from our vantage point just for the keeper. Looked tough, but the defense stands strong. And I can say for Derryfield, they're playing a lot more aggressive and with a lot more confidence on the defensive end.
Oh, as that rolls up and hits the wrong side of the stick off of Jillian Ruby. 37 seconds to go, third quarter. LaFlame going to send it for a ride up towards midfield. Stolen away by the Bobcats. Another steal for Plymouth off the turnover. Outlet for Strickland. Trying to get control. Poked into the corner. Strickland has it. As this one's off. And they whistle here for Plymouth. Final 5 seconds of the quarter. Hard hit. Sent in front. As that will do it as we hit the end of the third here at Plymouth Regional High School. And Royce, a lot happened at spurts, but a lot of just back and forth play. What do you take away from that third quarter?
Well, I got to say, at halftime, coaches making adjustments. They got, 2 full quarters to feel out one another, and that's kind of what I saw throughout the third, was they just understood each other. They could just take their time, and really those opportunities were set up from their offensive, the defensive, the counterattacks, the breaks, and from fast restarts, and that's what really gave both these teams opportunities attacking and on the defensive side of the ball.
So here we look at things. Plymouth are going to find themselves under a lot of pressure, but how can Derryfield really get momentum in your eyes going into this final quarter?
It all starts from, as I keep saying, even though they want to play aggressive, they want to run tempo, you got to slow it down, take your passes, and then speed it up. You can't just, stay in one static speed. It's really about sprinting around, making that Bobcat defense work, but also don't give them most of those corner opportunities, as even though, sure, they've scored from one today, that's been one of their weakest points on the season. So if they can, stop the Bobcats from coming in their defensive side, play a very methodical way, spread out that Bobcat defense, eventually they will bust through the door.
Again, Bobcats leading 1-0 through 3 quarters of play, thanks to Amelia Avery.
And Dan, just like that, the sun's gone now, tucked behind the clouds. So, I think there's, over under, will the sun show itself 3-4 times?
Oh.
I mean, it showed itself twice, so now it's getting a little chilly. Now it's rendering it on my weather app at 51 degrees. 52, 51 was just bouncing between the intermissions. So
if I'm Plymouth, I want the clouds. I don't want the sun in the eyes.
No sunshine.
Carmen Donis. I know that as a goalkeeper for soccer for so many years. It's very difficult. It's an added factor that you don't want.
Well, also when I was running camera for the field hockey game, the sun glare was atrocious. So yes. I understand the sun, even as long as I'm not a player out on the field.
Underway, Bobcats with a center pass to get us going here in the final 15 minutes of regulation. Derryfield trying to tie things up here. Great dribbling left-hand side for Blake. Latin wall towards the circle. And again, Plymouth holding with Fullerton.
And for the Bobcats, they can't get too cocky, but the confidence can stay up. They got to stay confident. They got to trust in their very strong back line, which will hold them together for this final 15.
Up from midfield, Muzzy. Pushed into space, but no one home. Left side, LaFlame. That one gets deep. Chance here, Stoneker. And Fullerton helping out defensively with a good stand. Ahern, my apology, coming in. And that one's off her foot. Into the circle. Donis will see it over the end line.
Also as well for the Bobcats, just in the midfield, they can't go too aggressive in the midfield, even though that's where they really excel at, especially with a 1-0 lead. You give Derryfield any kind of space, they will attack that, they will counter, and they will go on a nice counterattack and apply more pressure and really force Carmen Donis to work.
Long corner restart. Oh, and a lot of contact there. Fulton a little shaken up for Derryfield as that one's sent into the fans.
Fan might get a little souvenir. I'm not sure if that's how it
Nope,
works at the high school level.
Not. What kind of budget do you think we have?
Saw those at Dick's Sporting Goods for maybe $8. Not sure, though. So
early action, fourth quarter. Bobcats will restart at midfield.
I would say the Bobcats would still need to stay aggressive in the offensive, really tire out that defense, and I think that will be a huge key here, especially in the final 12.
They get the advantage call. As we're going to have a whistle as Muzzy gets called for essentially a trip.
Yeah, Muzzy just wanted to get a little bit too aggressive there.
Advantage for Plymouth into the circle, down towards the end line. And illegal stick contact by Ruby.
Bobcats committing a couple fouls so far. They're a very disciplined team, and we've seen that throughout the first half and throughout the third quarter. Can't afford to let these fouls prevent a good offensive chance.
Plymouth doing really, really well today, Royce, in getting in these passing lanes and shooting lanes to intercept a lot of these high passes. And here's another one.
Yeah, it's just about just really trusting in yourself and making the right decisions, and that's one of the key things that the Bobcats have been able to do is just really rely on themselves, rely on their teammates, and just stay so confident and so positive.
11:15 to go, fourth quarter. Avery sends it deep. Muzzy towards goal. Rebound, top of the circle. That one down low. Muzzy looking for a chance. Plymouth on the doorstep, and that's through everybody in the circle out to the left side. Ruby back in front, and it will be against Plymouth for the whistle.
I will say how that chance did happen is there was a little bit of hesitation, and that's kind of what led to it. There was a hesitation by the left defender, just did not go. Took a couple extra seconds to react, and, opened up the opening pass.
Great check there in the middle by the likes of Lucia Sakin, number 10. Got the whistle in favor of Plymouth before that one rolled up high. But Plymouth keeping the pedal pressed to the floor right now. A long corner here for Plymouth.
I don't think that car has any chance of running out of gas. So.
Nope. Hopefully not. You got 10 minutes to hang on here with a 1-0 lead. Looking for the insurance goal. Edge of the circle. Stopped.
Ooh.
Kozakowski is tripped up. She'll get the self-start.
I like that goes by Avery.
I think so. In the middle. Stoneker trying to find some help. Ruby dribbles past one defender. And that one, as she had made contact with the defender's stick of Caitlin Landy.
Got to say, really nice play by Lucia Sakin in the midfield to get it out.
Into the circle. That one trickles through. Hesser. Shot off. In front. Not cleared away. Ruby trying to muscle her way through, and it's over the end line. And it will go to Derryfield.
Yeah, another nice defensive play on the side of Derryfield. Now, as I was mentioning, you don't want to give the Bobcats too much pressure here. You want to be the ones to dictate the pace. You want to be in control. And every single second that you allow Plymouth to come in your offensive half, it will cause you fits later on throughout this fourth quarter.
Derryfield will play it back, trying to open up space here and attack this right wing side. They haven't done so much here in the second half. 8:40 remaining, fourth quarter. Bobcats, thanks to Avery, leading 1-0 here in this first round, trying to get another in a corner here for the Bobcats.
Well, trying to attack that right-hand side didn't really work out how they wanted it to. Bobcats were just there, played clean up, and, well, able to get another corner. And if I stand correct, they're 1 for 3.
They are. This is their fourth of the game.
So 1 for 3 right now. And with Jillian Ruby on it. Curious to see where she's going to go here. I expect the Bobcats to stay really aggressive, though.
Going to go short on the insert. Strickland into the middle. Chance for Plymouth. That one rolled up a stick. Down towards that near post. As a whistle here as Avery couldn't connect.
Well, decent amount of time got wiped off the clock, but it has to be a huge confidence booster for Derryfield knowing, hey, we just made a very huge stop late in the game.
Into space. Well, Flame will see this over the sideline. Again, winner of this will take on Bow, scheduled for Sunday, October 26th at 2 p.m.
Both of these teams did struggle against Bow when they met in the regular season.
Into the circle. Joyce couldn't connect. Good stop by Sakin. And it does roll over the sideline, and a whistle here in favor of Plymouth. Good dribbling. Sakin trying to find an angle inside. Nothing coming. Blake stole it away and sent it upfield for Stonecker. Can't get over midfield, though. Latin-Woe had it roll off her stick. 6:27 remaining. Impeding the call, and Bobcats back with possession, but only for a second.
Well, if you're the Bobcats here, you can't afford to get sloppy. You just, as I said, have to stay very well grounded and just stay assertive. Do what you've been doing all season, and you'll turn out just fine.
Freshman and Blake, big lift down deep. That's what Derryfield's going to have to do here down the stretch. Hazakowski. Latin-Woe, right side, towards the cage. Donis kicks it free, and a corner coming. The second one here in the second half, 11th of the game for the Cougars.
Well, a lot of pressure, very well done by Derryfield. The reason why it's just not going well is they're just taking their time. Even though they want to quickly go for it, they're taking their time, not being able to develop too much. They need to swap it up, maybe go to somebody new, maybe get another extra pass out there.
Does go back out top. Fulton finds help. Dangerous turnaround shot on the doorstep, and it rolls over the end line. Oh, we're going to have a penalty stroke here. Oh, boy, so this is really going to change the tables.
Well, the pressure finally works out. Now, for Carmen Donis, being a junior, not in this situation a lot, and kind of on the nerves, kind of on the doorstep of, well, how do I put it, an announcer jinx? So not looking for the commentary curse here, but Carmen Donis, she's been tested. She has time.
Milo was lining up to take it. Now they're going to give it to Rosie Blake, the freshman, against Donis, freshman versus junior, to tie the game, waiting for the whistle. Off the post and in! And we are tied at 1. What a shot!
I heard the ding from here. It was louder than, I don't know. Wow. A beautiful shot, able to find it off and in. Donis was shocked. She had the right read. Just beautiful placement, and that pressure finally worked off, and now they've converted on a corner. They're able to get something We're all tied heading into the final 4 minutes and 30 seconds, so this will swap everything.
So the penalty stroke, big factor here, and gives momentum completely back to Derryfield.
But with how the Bobcats have been offensively, it would not be surprised here. They're just going to quickly run something very different or something very fast, try and catch Derryfield off guard.
4:30 to go, fourth quarter, now tied at 1. Blake, as that's off a foot right at midfield. Plymouth have to keep their energy up. Latin Woe. Call for impeding. Bobcats with possession.
They can't let that penalty stroke get into their heads. Treat it as if it's still 0-0.
Launch downfield. Picked up. Taldo. Joyce. That's off a foot. That should be a corner. Oh, it's of Plymouth and Strickland. And a timeout called by Derryfield. Their one timeout for the game with 3:47 to go here in regulation. Oh, we've got a great one here right now, Royce.
Absolutely right call by the coach for Derryfield. You want to calm the nerves. The players, sure, they can have all the confidence they want. They can be super energetic and pumped up from a beautiful penalty. But now the question is for Derryfield, how with now this momentum, how do you convert it into applying more pressure? Do you go for the finish now? And for the Bobcats, just Coach Laufenberg just has to talk it over, just has to make sure her team is sound defensively. Maybe they have to roll the dice and see if they can get something else on the offensive third, but
it's so hard to judge how it's going to go. How much do you try to push when you're tied to try to get the go-ahead goal again?
But you don't want to overcommit at the same time, and that's kind of I wouldn't say what we really saw on that, attack attempt, but it was a really nice clear in to set up the chance. So I think it's more or less of what team is going to slip first. I really do. It's just so hard, to really say, hey, this team has a higher chance. This team, this is their weakness, so let's, exploit that. I'm curious to see if Coach Laufenberg is going to go to her magic whiteboard and just try and draw up some mockery. And
yeah, I think it's more about just keeping that confidence up as we're talking about. Just believe, try to instill that belief that you guys have this. You've been dominating really since the first quarter, and it's just a fluke play on a bunch of contact in front of the cage that drew that penalty stroke. 3:47 to go, fourth quarter.
Well, to mention, in the Bobcats' last game, it was a 2-win over Hanover, so could have a repeating scoreline in back-to-back games.
Ready for the restart. Singh with the restart here to Blake. Will keep possession as it's poked out by the Bobcats. Lifted. I don't think that ever came in play. It did not. It'll go back to Plymouth.
Well, Dan, what is with these?
Well, I mean, the grass is really thick, and it's been difficult because in the college, what we talked about in the Conval game, the college level, you're playing only on AstroTurf. Here, you got natural grass, and it's a lot harder for these contacts and the passes.
Not sure if you have the opportunity at the high school level to play on turf.
If your high school has it, a lot of schools do. I know Hollis Brookline's one of them. Whistle here. Back to Plymouth. Avery. Nice cut back up inside.
Ooh!
Has some space to work with. Amelia Avery. Here's McKenney. Advantage in the whistle. 2.5 to go.
This is their time to shine.
Poke sent from distance, never touched anybody. Even if it went in, it wouldn't have counted. And it's going out for Derryfield.
Well, within the final two, just about playing conservative. Bobcats still trying to play aggressive, but Derryfield doesn't mind that. They'll take that any day.
So the stamina and discipline comes into play here late. 2 minutes remaining. Latinwell poked away from Strickland. Hard contact. Avery finds the loose ball. Taps it towards the top of the circle. Looking for Joyce and McKenney. And a foul against the Bobcats.
Now here, Derryfield, they're going to try and help. Oh. Okay.
Well, we continue. No whistle, even though it was kind of dangerous in the restart. But yeah, well, now we'll get the whistle.
Okay, well.
A lot of adrenaline out there right now. Final 90 seconds here in regulation.
Yeah, Dan, this is what we all play for. I'm feeling the energy and nerves, and I'm way up here on the tower.
That's pushed again into the fans.
We're calling it the tower, right?
We'll go with it. Cat Shack, tower. I don't know.
Porch, deck, I don't know.
Whistle as it rolls out. Goes to Plymouth. Final minute in regulation. Bobcats trying to get the go-ahead goal here and regain the lead. Derryfield hoping it goes to at least overtime. Can't be caught in transition. Here we go.
Oh.
Right side, Blake. Latinwoe. Back to Blake. And Plymouth with some great midfield pressure thanks to the likes of Mitchell.
Just their midfield production, so sound.
25 seconds and counting.
And a fun fact, the Bobcats have actually never tied this season.
Well, not going to tie today either. A whistle in favor of Plymouth. Final 10 seconds here in the fourth, tied at 1. Last chance. Can Plymouth get it? With a final 3 seconds, it's stopped. Kozakowski with a great defensive stop as we are going to send it to overtime.
I don't know if this should be – I don't know. Overtime in a playoff game could not be a huger situation. The fans are still here. They're engaged. It's only getting colder from here. But, I mean, for overtime, you have to be happy for both sides. You know, for Derryfield, they were able to just really kind of control the tempo how they wanted to do it, but at the same time, they weren't freaking out or they weren't necessarily getting nervous from the Bobcat pressure when they were on defense. And patience, well, I guess rest assured patience will pay off, and that's what happened. They got an opportunity, and Derryfield just able to even it out. So now it's down to the coaches' minds and coaches' hands on the whiteboard to determine what's going to happen in our next period.
Again, you lose some players from the field to open up the field, try to have not as much as ice hockey in the NHL with a 3-on-3.
Isn't it 7-7?
I believe it's 7v7.
And then it's it's instant, it's golden goal, right? Or instant death, is it?
Yeah, it's golden goal, and then it will go to
a shootout. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I mentioned it, but yeah, 7v7, and that's gonna be an interesting decision now. Is if you're Coach Laufenberg, who are you putting out there? What 7 are you gonna put?
Yeah, it's
tough.
This is why she's the coach and we are up here just calling the game.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what 7 are going to be out on each side, and that would change strategies too.
Again, it all comes to the conditioning throughout the season. You've built it up for this specific situation. How can Plymouth respond? As the captains meet with the umpires at midfield, see who will have the center pass.
And to answer your question, Dan, how can the Bobcats respond? It's just as simple as continuing to do what you've been doing all game. Everything you've done has been fine, from your midfield aggression to staying aggressive offensively, making huge stops on the defensive side. You keep doing that, and eventually it'll pay off. Obviously, with the less players out in the field, stuff might change a little bit, but you can apply those same principles
So we'll have a 10-minute overtime.
Oh, more than enough time.
Plenty of time. Did not see who won that toss down there and who's going to have possession. Both teams trying to get amped right back up. So glad you could join us here on Pemmy Baker TV.
With overtime beginning, only 7 can take the field. Bobcats going to need to keep doing what they're doing and obviously stay aggressive. That is the one thing I will keep pointing out. Aggressiveness, aggressiveness, aggressiveness. You can't get too aggressive, but you need to do the right amount, which is what Plymouth has been doing all season. They have had the right amount of aggression even in this game. They can just keep it up. It will be sound. I think we're ready to rock and roll.
We are ready for overtime. Teams will keep the same side of the field as Derryfield will have the center pass to start us off.
Well, let's rock and roll.
Golden goal.
10 minutes.
Here we go. Winner will advance to the quarterfinals against Bow. A lot more open space out there. Intercepted by Plymouth only momentarily as McKenney overruns it. Blake, who tied things up on the penalty stroke. Hard pass into the circle. And that one's deflected away nicely by Plymouth. Came off of Fullerton, who's had a really strong defensive game for the Bobcats. Derryfield keeps possession. And that's going to be going in favor of the Bobcats.
I mean, Sidney Fullerton, backbone holding down the back line, so a huge piece to this overtime roster.
On the right wing, Avery tries to give it a ride. And that's off of Strickland's foot. Oh, correction, it's not. They're going to say it's off Derryfield. Possession stays with the Bobcats. 8:50 to go in the first overtime. Plymouth threatening here. Sakin with some space into the shooting circle. Soft roller, kicked back in.
Put her body on the line for that.
Areno. Oh, nice little scoop out there. Hazakowski. Good ball movement by the Cougars. Derryfield, left wing attack. Fulton can't control it. Here's Plymouth. Long pass. It's going to go over the end line. And Derryfield will have possession.
Well, you can definitely tell the aggression, but also just the counterattacks on both sides. Well, because the field is opened up a lot more, you have a lot more opportunities for space to create your own plays.
Great stop by Avery on the restart. And a whistle. She's called for impeding. Just over 2 minutes into overtime.
You know, Dan, as a goalie, how stressful would you say overtime is?
Oh, very. I mean, it's all about how you can control your nerves, and it's that trust you've built in with your defense and your midfielders over the course of the season to trust each other. Big attack right side. Blake, top of the circle. That one knocked away from Stoneker. Sent right back through traffic, through everybody. Donis going to try to play it. She's off her line now. Derryfield in the shooting circle as it rolls out high. Advantage call, shot, tipped, saved, and a whistle. It's going to be off of Derryfield's leg. And again, Carmen Donis coming up huge between the pipes.
Well, Carmen Donis, she has been tested, even though on that game tire, she still was in the right spot, and her teammates have a lot of trust in her.
Chance here for Plymouth. Avery into the circle, keeps possession. She'll get a corner.
Bobcats, they have been so productive on the corners. They have been able to work out so well. They've applied pressure. They've made so many plays from the corner. Now the Bobcats have an opportunity to end it here and go to Bo.
McKinney will insert. Again, now you only have 3 here on the defensive side. All the advantage. Here we go. Big hit. That's off a stick. And LaFlame with a great defensive stop. Play continues. Avery along the end line as it's poked out a long corner for Plymouth.
Well, Mia Avery, as I was mentioning, she's so aggressive offensively and really just gives time for her teammates to set up.
Plymouth trying. Sent through traffic. McKinney. The Bobcat bench is all up jumping. Tap down low. Knocked around in another corner here for the Bobcats.
Holy jumping.
They're 6th of the game, second here in overtime.
Well, overtime, X factors, pressure, everything will cat them out. But another corner here, the Bobcats have a huge opportunity again. They still did apply a lot of pressure from the previous corner. They just need to, with only less people, they're going to need to play it slow or play it fast. Whatever they choose will work.
Here we go. McKinney with the insert. Go short this time to Strickland. Pressure coming out from Blake, and she was ready for it. So 2 chances for Plymouth go by the wayside. 4:10 to go in overtime. What a stop, Strickland. Read that perfectly. Into the shooting circle. Tries to go backside as it's hit on the illegal side of the stick, and it's going to go out for the Cougars. Oh, Plymouth with so many chances.
Well, a really good opportunity in just her ability, her stick work is just phenomenal.
Oh, that's going to be a card.
Oh, no.
Yep, Lucia Sakin's going to go off here with a yellow card. So Plymouth will be down a player for the rest of overtime with 3:43 to go. This could really hurt.
And I don't know if we're supposed to call this a power play, but
nope. Just a player advantage.
Just as a player advantage now, and you could tell off the bench another player running in to figure it out. Now they're going to have to be playing with a man down, and they're going to have to be playing more defensive. They're not going to have an opportunity unless it's a huge counterattack.
So Plymouth on their heels. But Strickland doesn't even think they're down a player. Strickland into the circle. Still gets it back. And impeding in a corner for Plymouth, and they're down a player.
This is huge. This will be momentum. This will swing everything. The Bobcats have been tested all game. They have been, I don't know.
But here's the thing. Is Plymouth, you're down 1, so now you only have 5. You've got at least 2 deep for Derryfield. Anything is a turnover and sent deep. Plymouth is in a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Back underway on the insert. Pressure from Blake. That's off a body and coming out as Joyce couldn't connect cleanly.
Well, I would say, them playing aggressive is delaying time off the clock, which is, in a way, it's very good for the Bobcats to delay time off the clock.
Strickland got the impeding call. Quick start. Again, have to go 5 yards away from goal before you attack. Unloads on the doorstep. Strickland couldn't get there. McKinney gave it a great chance, and now Derryfield on the counterattack. Into the middle. McKinney trying to track back. Oh, a dangerous follow-through. If that connected, that would have been another card. 2:04 to go in overtime.
The nerves are just through the ceiling right now. I can't imagine how the players are actually feeling down there on the field.
Derryfield, their best chances right now, 1:50 left in overtime. Blake rolls it towards the circle. Joyce with some great defense of her own. Gets past another defender. Has Strickland in the middle if she can find her. 2-on-0. Joyce gets it down and just can't find Strickland.
It was a huge chance. The ball was a little awkward off her stick instead of sending it in the middle across. But with a lot of time dwindling, there's still plenty of time for Derryfield if they want to slow it down and try and go for only a couple more shots.
1:10 remaining in overtime. Fullerton stops it just before midfield. Mitchell on that left wing side for the Bobcats. Lattenwall will just send it out of play. Under a minute now. Plymouth still down a player because of the yellow card, the 5-minute yellow card. Advantage. Here's Blake, who got us to overtime. Into the circle she goes. And Fullerton with a great stop. A long corner coming, but Fullerton last second poked it free. 22 seconds to go here in overtime.
Well, this is going to be your last chance to get a shot off and potentially end it.
Got to hurry. Down to 13 and counting. The long corner.
8.
Self-start. 5 seconds. Towards goal. Donis trying to kick it away. Here it is. Oh, again, Fullerton stops it. And it's is it going to be a corner?
Oh, no.
We are going to have a corner.
Okay, that changes things.
So you can't end the game. Time is expired. You cannot stop the game if there's a corner. So we play through this until the umpires whistle here. This is it. Can Derryfield steal it with no time left in overtime? You couldn't script this any better, Royce.
Well, no. Perfect situation. Corners, though.
Here we go. Out high. And it goes too far away. So that'll be the end of overtime and a very lucky break for the Bobcats. So switch ends here. Still golden goal.
Well, for the Bobcats, continue doing what you're doing. And for Derryfield, continue the pressure that you just established towards the end of the first overtime.
So the table is trying to figure out the exact moment that Plymouth can get back to even.
Now, I would have to assume that in the huddle in between, they would definitely be planning for obviously Plymouth having a man down and trying to plan accordingly.
We appear to be set.
All right, Daniel, let's rock and roll for a second overtime.
Underway in overtime number 2. Avery with the steal. Right wing side. Gains entry to the circle. That's off a foot and a corner coming.
Well, Bobcats on the corners have been stellar, setting up so many chances. And now they can do it here.
It's their 8th corner of the game. 4th here in overtime.
Half coming from overtime, so. Yeah, a huge sigh early from Dan over here.
I know. Avery for the insert. Strickland lined up short. Goes to her. Tough touch. And Derryfield, but impeding in another corner coming.
Well, the Bobcats use this to your advantage. Use the pressure to set up something. I mean, you're on the doorstep practically if you're Plymouth here. I think it's...
Top here. Through traffic! Backhander! That just misses.
One of the best chances from Plymouth throughout the overtime period. Such a nice design. I don't know if that was designed, but just such a nice play right there. Really took out some of those defenders on the Derryfield side.
But more importantly, Plymouth back to even. They've killed off the yellow card.
Well, now that you're adding Lucia Sakin, that'll be huge.
Mitchell, backhander in front, out of the reach of Hesser. Keeps it alive. Back play, top of the circle. Derryfield with possession now. Trying to set up the counter on the right wing. Cougars will keep it. Sakin back in. Stopped momentarily by Strickland. Here's Hesser. Try to spin around. And a whistle as a dangerous follow-through is called. 7:42 left in the second overtime. Long hit. Mitchell looking for an option. Off a foot. Great read by the official.
Just trying to dribble it back and just trying to get Derryfield to overcommit there.
What do you have left in the tank?
I don't know, but seems like they might need to go refuel.
Sakin pushes it back towards the middle. Not a lot on it. It's stolen away by the Cougars. Blake with the spin move. Dumps it off. Top of the circle. And Fullerton is right there waiting. Keeps it going. Fullerton trying to send it. Does find Strickland. That's off a foot and a whistle.
Ooh.
Quick start. That one rolls past. Believe that Kozakowski. Sent Latinwall. 6.5 in the second overtime to go. Mitchell has it stolen away off her stick. Latinwall looking for the square pass. Hesser takes possession for the Bobcats. Has Avery up ahead. And a whistle, and it's against Plymouth.
Well, you had that whole right side opened.
Advantage call, play on. Mitchell. Trying to send it deep. Avery has Joyce to her left and McKinney. Avery chops it into the circle. Alexa Joyce. And again, a dangerous swing on the backhand follow-through.
Really good try by Amelia Avery to try and set up the play. Just passes a little off target.
Mitchell. Joyce sends it deep. Avery has McKinney to her left. Great defensive stop. Cataldo as it rolls over the sideline. 5:10 remaining in the second overtime. Edge of the circle. Plymouth wanting a corner, nothing coming. Sakin can't get the shot off cleanly, and it's a foul against Plymouth.
Well, this is like a remarkable game so far. Both teams playing aggressive. Plymouth with a man down, just still surviving. And
turnover. Foot race as Avery just doesn't have enough to get there. Some very tired legs on the field right now.
And every second that dwindles by, well, I guess benefit the defensive side, if any.
Back underway. Mitchell, or correction, Sakin. Gets this into the circle, but it will roll harmlessly over the end line.
Very harmless indeed.
4 minutes to go in overtime number 2. And boy, has this been an instant classic. Joyce with some great stick work to knock it down. Pushes it over to Avery. Avery tries to send that towards goal, but a corner coming. The third one here in the second overtime for the Bobcats, as Derryfield hasn't had one here in the extra frames.
Well, the corner productivity for the Bobcats, as I keep mentioning, has really opened up the field. It's really spread out the defense, but with only 7 people on each side, it's going to be a difficult testament here.
Short, Sakin, back to the left. Joyce towards goal! Mayorino.
Oh, no.
Had the kick. Oh, we're going to have another card.
I saw that trip, and I was
yellow.
like, oh, 5 minutes?
Yep. Oh.
I saw that trip, and I heard the whistle, and I instantly knew. This is the Bobcats committing another card. They committed one card. It was Lucia Sakin in the first overtime, and now the Bobcats again.
Chance, though. Oh, great stick work out of the air. Avery playing down a player. And a bunch of whistles that goes to Plymouth. And I didn't see who had that card for Plymouth.
It was so hard to tell from here. It was so fast. It was on the attack coming back for Derryfield. Derryfield actually had a chance, and it was a trip from behind.
That one past the likes of Fullerton. Joyce with some great pressure, contact on the hand against Blake. She'll shake that one off. Pushed in front, and a nice stop. Donis with a kick, but dangerous back out in front of the cage and impeding the call. Bobcats quickly restart. Strickland.
Sorry, but the good thing about the Bobcats, they've been in this situation not too long ago. And they have the testament to do it. They have they have the thrill. They have the mentality to do it.
My guess is that it was against Sakin, and that will end her afternoon. Mitchell in a tie-up with LaFlame. 1:33 to go in the second overtime. Fullerton clears the pressure momentarily. Chance for numbers in transition. Joyce has it poked away, and that's going to be a dangerous follow-through again. Minute 14 left.
I'm curious what happens after this. I mean, how the card will just affect it, and if they even are, who they're going to put in if there is a third overtime period.
Joyce.
Oh.
With divot shot. Plymouth coaching staff not happy with that because there's no one around. They get the call, though. Ladwell up to LaFlame. That's off a foot. Plymouth wanted it, not going to get it. Coach Laufenberg is jumping. Final 28 seconds into the circle. And it's Fullerton again with a defensive stop. Mitchell gets the advantage and the whistle.
I don't know, man.
Plymouth just going to eat up the rest of the clock here.
Smart decision.
Send it deep. Final 5 seconds. As there's the horn from the table.
I mean, the Bobcats in both overtimes, in terms of,
good job, Cal.
I guess in terms of getting cards, it's been a lot for them.
So we should be going to a shootout now after the 2 overtimes. Teams will have 2 minutes to get ready for this, and we'll see which goal they shoot at.
Well, Dan, what's the biggest thing in a shootout? What's the biggest thing?
For field hockey, normally it's going to be pulled to shooter's left. It's more difficult, but if you're a goalie, if you're a shooter, you're trying to go for that stick side, somewhere between thigh and shoulder. It's a lot more difficult for a goalkeeper to get a save when it's near the body. You don't want it too far out. You have more mobility, but anywhere within a foot or two in that range, that's where the shooters are going to try to go for.
Well, as me and you both have mentioned with the grass playing surface, I think that'll definitely play a huge factor in the shots today as well. Maybe not getting enough height. Just for Carmen Donis, my concern for Carmen Donis is your energy. You have been playing for an hour and 20 minutes. So, for Lexi Majorino, how she's going to be able to hang well for the Derryfield side.
See what will happen. Again, we have a few minutes to get set here at the end of double overtime. We're still tied at 1. A lot more action coming up next here on Pemmy Baker TV. So here we go to the shootout. So glad you could join us here on Pemmy Baker TV. Dan Salzer alongside Royce Preventure. And after an hour and 20 minutes of play, we're tied at 1. And the action will be here at the near goal.
I'd like to call it the most exciting part of a match.
It is, because looking at the rules, if you're not familiar, it's not just a shootout where it's like when it's a penalty stroke. You have an 8-second clock to dribble in and shoot.
Kind of like hockey when you start from the middle line. Start from mid-ice, but...
So again, you start at the 25-yard line. And on the official's whistle, you have 8 seconds to score.
Carmen Donis.
So Derryfield will start first.
And the football team have just arrived here to support on their fellow Bobcats. Let's go, Dan. See, okay.
Fulton will be the first one, I believe. Waiting for the umpire's whistle. Chance here. Fulton. Donis with a great stop. And she'll kick it away because she can continue on. And that gives Plymouth the advantage.
Yeah, well, very nice job right there. She wanted to play aggressive early. She wanted to challenge it. Right call. Now the Bobcats have a chance to strike first in this shootout. And can't tell who that is.
That is Serena McKenney, number 1.
Well, McKenney.
The freshman. McKenney will dribble in. Tries to go for an angle. Shot off and a save. You get another chance. And Marino with a great stop on the second effort. And still no one has found the back of the cage through the first round.
Well, it was a nice follow-up shot by McKenney, but an even better snag from Iarino.
So you get 5 rounds. Chance here. Oh, Donis is beat, and it's Blake. The freshman who got the penalty stroke gets Derryfield ahead.
Well, Rosie Blake, nice job. And Carmen Donis, she wanted to go aggressive again. And Blake just able to read it out. And, man, Rosie Blake might give the Cats nightmares.
So Plymouth gets the first shot off with Mitchell. And there's the horn. An advantage to Derryfield. After 2 rounds, they lead 1-0.
So it's whoever has the most at the end of 5. And this is the best start you can get for Derryfield. And one more here would put on the pressure for the Bobcats to essentially have to do extremely well.
Donis can't get there in time. And it's Kazakowski that gets Derryfield their second.
Now the pressure is on.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes kind of in like a more favored way, as in you don't play all 5 unless it has to go that way.
Alexa Joyce will take it for Plymouth now. Alexi Maiorino working on the equipment.
The nerves.
Yep.
The nerves. Oh, man.
Long wait here.
They both tried to dribble to the left side and then cut to the right and then go for a shot around her on the right-hand side.
Here's the whistle. Alexi going to carry it in. Drips it over and scores! What a nice job there from Alexa Joyce!
Oh, my goodness. Alexi Joyce, my goodness, just popped it up high and was like, all right, and then let it bounce in.
Completely legal play. Derryfield trying to get the advantage. Donis slaps it away, still alive. Horn sounds even though it hits the outside of the cage, and a chance now for Plymouth to tie things up. 2-1 Derryfield here in the shootout, and it's going to be Trista Strickland.
Trista Strickland's 8 goals on the season. Bobcats fail to convert here. A Derryfield goal in the next go would work. Strickland
On her strong side, goes weak, shot off, and it rolls over. Oh, so Derryfield can end it right now with a goal.
Carmen Donis.
So Donis.
Oh. Can she stand huge here?
Trying to see who that is for Derryfield.
Here we go.
Apologize, couldn't get the number. Derryfield with a chance. Oh, and it's going to be a penalty stroke now because of the trip.
Well, this will change things again.
So because of the penalty and the trip inside here in the shootout, it's going to be a stroke against Donis. She did everything she could.
Will that be contested or uncontested?
It should be an uncontested, I think.
So she should just have a free net to shoot on.
Nope, they're going to put her in.
Okay. So same, I guess, principles apply. If Derryfield score, they win. If they miss and Donis makes a huge save, it goes to a must-make for the Bobcats.
Blake trying to win it for Derryfield, the 10th seed, looking for the upset.
She scored earlier.
And there it is! Derryfield comes to Plymouth. Oh, and the coaches are not happy. There was movement.
Ooh.
Not over yet. So we're waiting for an official ruling. Coach Laufenberg and Coach Austin are furious.
Yeah, this is...
Don't want to celebrate yet.
Yeah,
We haven't put it up on the board yet.
Ooh. Okay. This changes things, though, for sure. This will add a momentary delay.
Derryfield waiting to celebrate.
So what would the implications be here, then, if they do rule there was movement? Would it go to a redo, or would it just count as a missed shot?
It would be a reshot. So something about not being set or early movement.
They're trying to say it's on Blake?
I believe so. That's what Plymouth is arguing.
Blake did score earlier. She did equalize it, and then she scored her first attempt when she was coming up here.
Coaches. Kendra Austin going to have to be moved away.
Oh, and she'll throw a field hockey ball way off.
So still Derryfield starting to walk back towards their bench. They've scored. If it stands, have won it.
This is from 2 overtimes to a shootout to now umpires meeting to determine will Derryfield win or will we see another shot?
And it looks like that's it.
So they're going to call it.
So Derryfield are going to come away victorious. So we'll go final 2-1 here.
Wow.
And just anticlimactic, but there's the ruling. You see Derryfield celebrating now. So the Cougars come to Plymouth and knock off the Bobcats in the shootout. Boy, what a heartbreaking loss for Plymouth. They call it really the penalty shuffle, really a shootout. But hats off to all the players today, Royce. It was a fantastic playoff game.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, from Amelia Avery getting her 9th goal of the season to overall a long game, very hard fought, back and forth. Just such a fun time for both teams and players on the field tonight.
So, Royce, any final thoughts before we sign off here this evening?
For the seniors, good luck to them wherever they're going to be continuing on if they decide to pursue field hockey for college, and for Coach Laufenberg and for Coach Austin to get their players ready for next season. And good luck to Derryfield as they'll travel to play Bow.
Yep, Bow will be against them on Sunday in the quarterfinals. You have to feel for Plymouth, a hard-fought season, a really successful season overall, but it comes to an end here today. That's going to do it for us this afternoon. So glad you could join us here on Pemmy Baker TV. Our camera operator in Xander Shin. For Royce Preventure, I'm Dan Salzer. Final score for the final time. 10th seed Derryfield knocks off 7th seed Plymouth 2-1. Best of luck to the Cougars, and we'll see you next season for more Bobcat field hockey here on Pemmy Baker TV.